James Harden is torn between his former team in the Houston Rockets and the 76ers, right? He spent his first 9 seasons with the Rockets, has spent the last 2 seasons with Philly. I know. And right now he's planning to decline his $35 million player option heading into next offseason, and that is to pursue a long-term deal, right? So, I wanted to ask you guys, right, like what's James Harden's, mind? Where's his mind at right now? And I wanted to ask you too, like, is he at the point in his career, where he's not even really playing for rings anymore? He's just playing for that contract just to kind of, his last run in the league.
Let me go quickly here, and then I'll throw it to you guys. Let me go quickly. I'm walking away from, at this point in your career, you walk away from $35 million. That's a lot of cash, right? And then you're considering Houston. I'm just connecting all the dots here, so just think out loud with me, right? What this tells me is all about money, right? We know he live a lavish lifestyle. He always on the PJs, always, you know what I'm saying, got all the new gear. I don't know if it's sponsored or not. So if you're willing to walk away from a situation where you're making really good money this year, short-sighted, okay, and have an opportunity to potentially contend, to go to the Houston Rockets for a long-term deal, just tells me it's all about the money. That's what it is. Now, I'm sure he got the right people around him doing the right things, but James Harden, to me, Liv, sounds like he might need you to come in and help him on the financial side. Meaning that I'm talking about making that right financial decision, because I don't want to say like I'm not trying to, imply anything else. I'm just saying, like, in this moment, is it $35 million? For this next year, do we take that, or do we take this long-term deal? And obviously, the upside is greater from a financial standpoint.
Is it about money or is it about attention? Because
or the strip club.
I just think that we've been here before. We've heard this before. I just feel like we've got a bit of a drama queen on our hands sometimes with James Harden, and I love the way he plays. Is it really about money, or does he just want to go somewhere where he's number one?
Right.
I don't know. I feel like he obviously he had a pretty good postseason run here with the 76ers, but it wasn't about him. It was about the MVP. It was about Joel Embiid, and I just feel like we've been through this before with James Harden, where he's very easily unsatisfied. It feels very hard to satisfy this man because he is quick to play hopscotch with teams around the league. So I don't know. I think it's more about attention than money, honestly.
James Harden doesn't want to win for real. He wants to win via convenience. And what I mean by that is he doesn't really want to put the work in that at this stage in his career, at least that's how it comes across, required to win. He wants to do it by the most convenient, road most traveled means necessary. Because if he really wanted to win for real, why are you leaving Philly? Why are you running from a team that is a lot more prone to win than Houston is? Like, for me, it means that you are prioritizing money, which you have plenty of. Right. You are prioritizing lifestyle. You are prioritizing, what Liv said, kind of being the center of attention before actually winning. Because if you actually wanted to win, your situation right now is conducive for that. So I wish that, and it's unfortunate because you see glimpses of James Harden and you're reminded of who he can be, but then that's not who he is consistently. And he's not that consistently because it's not that important to him. And I feel like we have to have that conversation. I feel like it's about time that we have this conversation about James Harden and realize for him, there's a lot of other things within the world of basketball that come before actually doing the work and actually grinding and actually winning a chip. He, at a lot of times, comes across lazy, unmotivated, uninterested. It's just not a player who gives you the maximum effort that he can give you because the skill set is still there. It's not like this is a player whose skill set is gone. This is a player who just, for some reason, prioritizes a lot of other things above winning. But if he can win, he wants to do it in the most comfortable, convenient for him environment. And that's just not the case. He doesn't want the smoke. He doesn't want the grind. He just wants to go someplace and have a championship handed to him. And James, look, like, you're 30 something years old. That's not going to happen, big boy. So you got to figure out what you want to do, like which direction you're going in.
Well,
and if it's to go to Houston and kick your feet up and be the king of the H-Town again and live that life, cool.
Ashley,
but if you're trying to win, I don't see how you go to Houston for that.
Ashley, B. Morale, who rocks with her show every single day, you know, Christy O, Pamela, some others. I got to start adding more names because there's a lot more people that come back every single day. So he's in the chat, Ashley, and he says, James Harden just want triple doubles and chill with Lil Baby.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Kicking it with
How you Liv? How you
That's
feel?
good.
How y'all feel about that, Corey? Liv, like how y'all feel about that? Where like grown men giving each other money for their birthdays and stuff.
Yeah, that's weird. Just share like an experience together.
I think Little Baby just gifted, or James Harden gave him like 100,000. Little Baby.
Why is that weird, Corey?
I'm just. How y'all feel?
I think it's weird to give a man 100,000 and then that man gives you another 100,000 back. Like, what did y'all even do?
Just keep the money.
Yeah. What did
But
y'all
like,
do?
how is that any different than like just playing devil's advocate here? How is that any different than say like if you and Brandon, you know, exchanged, I don't know, Rolexes of $100,000 worth in price? Like it's the same thing. It's a cash value instead of the actual product value. You know what I mean? Like it's the same thing.
I think
I'm not materialistic though.
Of, like,
Well,
richness, they don't need to exchange gifts. Like they just buy it for yourself. Like I feel like like
That's
Ash
true.
and I, our version of friendship is we book a flight and we go somewhere together.
An
Like
experience,
we could probably afford to buy our own bags and things that we want. So we don't gift that to each other because let's go like have an experience. Like you don't need to gift little baby a watch. He can buy himself a watch. It starts to get a little like maybe we have like little like we're fanboys of each other.
As a man, you know
that's why it comes off like that a little bit.
Yeah, it comes across weird.
It does. It's very like it's like just go somewhere with each other. Go hang out.
Yeah, it's not even like, and they're not even like. It's one thing if it's like a custom piece of jewelry where it's like a antique watch or like that's cool because then that's like meaningful. You have to search for that or like an antique car or something like that. You know, like a Thunderbird or that's cool because then it's like there's more like. It's more of a unique thing about it. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, I just went to the Maybach lot and I was like, oh, give me a Maybach. I'm gonna go ahead. Like, you know what I mean? Like $100,000 handing that in cash to somebody is kind of like
about the money.
Thanks. I had that in the ATM. But...
Listen, you know that he's telling us it's about the money. It's all about the money. Whether you give me a gift or we talking about basketball, money. I like James Harden. I do.
It's not. Listen, that's fine, Brandon, but let's not act James Harden. You got a Harden, which is fine, bro. Like I'm not mad at this at all. But like, let's be honest, James. Like you don't really want to win. You're not always in the best shape. Your first step is not remotely close to the same. Like you have taken a dive in the type of player that you are. Like you're running from the grind, and that's okay. If you want to just go to Houston and be James Harden of Houston and live that life, that's fine. But let's stop acting like you want to win. You don't really want to win that bad. That's cool. That's okay.
He tried. He took a shot in Brooklyn, and we imploded.
Dame and Harden are basketball players for two very completely different reasons. Like the two people we've talked about now are. They hoop for very, very different reasons.
Definitely.
Harden likes the lifestyle it comes with. Dame likes the game.
If you're Joel Embiid though, and you're seeing James Harden, with in this storyline and whatnot, what are you thinking? Like, cause he's somebody because we're all here on this show saying, nah, he doesn't want a championship. He doesn't want a championship. You think Joel Embiid's thinking the same thing? And at that point, are you like, yo, come on, James, like we actually want to win here, bro. Like if you want to go to Houston, just go to Houston.
Yes. 100%. This is Joel Embiid who was teammates with James Harden when Philly had maybe 5 days off, and the man is in Vegas getting into slap fights with bouncers. Like the man's he's not serious. He's not serious. Like why are you not in the gym? Like why are you not just chilling at home? Like we have a series we're approaching. I get it. We ended our last series a little bit early. Does that mean you got to fly to Vegas? You can't just chill for a couple of Joel Embiid knows exactly the type of player James Harden is. And maybe it gets masked a little bit because unlike some of the other players he's played with in the past, he does give you more productivity when he's at his best. And maybe that sometimes softens the blow of who he really is, the player at this moment in his career. But Joel Embiid's not oblivious. He knows what time it is. Yeah. He sees it. I mean, I would hope he sees it. I don't think he's unaware of it. And if you're his teammate, you're kind of like, yeah, this is not. Joel Embiid wants to win. That man wants to win. And
he wanted to win an MVP.
He wants to win a chip.
Now he does.
Not an MVP he cried about, like he cried for. We're not talking about that one. We're talking
about
How
was he actually holding up the trophy?
No, he was crying. He was crying to win the MVP. I'm not knocking him for crying for winning. Let's not negate the fact that he was
stop getting messy. That's my job. That's my job to get messy. Don't get
Harden
messy.
Should be a Grizzly.
What you say?
They got that energy out there, that lifestyle energy. Like we forget we're hoopers. We just like this. We like this energy it brings.
God. Could you imagine James Harden Memphis
to Memphis? Oh my God, it would be an absolute like if the Grizzlies were to bring Harden on board after everything that has gone down, it would be like immediately pushing the self-destruction button. Like immediately.
No. That's the perfect OG for Ja Morant.
What?
Why not Atlanta?
Yo, they turned up. No, Ja Morant and James Harden.
You want to send James Harden to Atlanta?
You talking about
so he could be closer to Lil Baby.
Them lemon pepper wings. Lil Baby and them lemon peppers. With the who said that? Liv trivia for the next. Introducing the next segment in paper route. Trivia. Who said I go to the strip club for lemon pepper wings for 100 betting dollars?
No Google.
Dang.
There's been a few people who've said that though.
No, this was legendary. This was like this was right in the pandemic.
Oh.
Yeah.
Was it Harden?
No.
Think about the bubble, Liv. Who got kicked? Who got in trouble for leaving the bubble?
Who's in the strip clubs in the bubble?
You got it,
Who's breaking the COVID laws? Let me think.
A lot of people broke the COVID laws.
There's a wing named after him.
Right. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, his face.
The
was
chicken
in my
wing
head.
named after
AD?
Look at the chat, Liv. Look at the chat. Your people always want to take care of you. They telling you in the chat, Liv. Can you? Do you even have your?
I don't.
Oh,
Lemon Pepper Lou Williams.
Lou
Williams. Pepper Lou.
He said that's why he goes to the strip clubs.
Yeah, because the story was that he during the bubble he was playing with the Clippers and he left the Clippers. He left the bubble. He had a funeral to go to, and that was the reason he did go to the funeral. But he was also later photographed in Magic City with Jack Harlow, and
oh my God.
He said his reason for being there was that he always gets wings from there. He had just stopped there to get food. He wasn't there partying. He says, I get lemon pepper wings from Magic City all the time, which is why now when you go to Magic City, the lemon pepper Lou Williams special is like lemon pepper wings and fries or something. I don't know, something like that.
He's funny, but Wingstop's got some nice lemon pepper wings, so he could have come up with something a little more creative than that. A little bit more creative.
They do
also,
have
guys, me not
wings.
knowing that, I'm in my Denver bubble over here. We're not. Denver doesn't have swag.